battle for Middle Earth is about to begin.
So it begins.
Send these foul beasts into the abyss! It's my power. The great battle of our time.
Welcome to the WARRRR Battle Games in Middle Earth Livestream. In this series, we cast our gaze back in time to the roots of our beloved Middle Earth strategy battle game to explore the fortnightly magazine serial Battle Games in Middle Earth. Each episode, we will delve into a single issue, poring over a treasure trove of retro gaming, following in-depth painting guides, terrain tutorials, and some crazy battle reports, all with a modern twist so you guys can enjoy them in your games at home. With each installment, we'll also focus on a release of models that accompanied the magazine, following their journey from painting bench to tabletop, and then at the end of every live stream, they'll be randomly assigned to one of our loyal Patreons to continue their days of gaming abroad, spreading the gospel of WARRRR. So, in the immortal words of the magazine itself, let battle commence. Welcome to WARRRR Gaming, my name's Lachlan Linton Keane, and welcome to the Battle Games in Middle Earth livestream. And oh my god, do we need a new intro. I sound like a 14-year-old in that voiceover. I haven't actually listened to it for ages since it's been playing in. How are we all this morning? We have got a cracker of an episode today. We are, of course, continuing with our Battle Games in Middle Earth livestream campaign. We are diving into issue number 24 of the retro magazine serial that came out in the early 2000s. In each episode of these live streams, we go through one of that awesome old magazine serial that used to come out at the newsagent every fortnight when we were kids. In each magazine, there's a painting guide, some battle stuff, and of course some models. And here on the channel, we will have a little special edition of each of those magazines. Over a couple of episodes, we'll paint up some models and then we'll play a battle report, and we get to do it all live right here on the channel with you guys. My Patreons get a chance to win and become the official sponsors of the models that we paint in this campaign. These models will stay here and sort of play through their journey. They'll get names, they'll level up, they'll gain experience, and then when they finish their role in the campaign, I post them out to our Patreons who have won them wherever they are in the world. And today, issue number, is it 24 or 26? 24. Issue number 24 is Mordor Orcs, and in fashion of the new upgraded version of the stream, with painting two epic metal sculpts today. We've got one of the beautiful orc spearmen from the Mordor warbow. He's like with a metal orc. Come on, sharps, get off my face. Look, the orc is a person. Focus on the orc. No, all right, I'll show you guys in a sec. We've got he's this kind of the big fierce spearman, and we've got a Mordor Urukai as well. One of the classic two-handed poses, which is sort of the new direction that we're taking. That what I do is for each of these warrior-focused tutorials, I will paint up two metal sculpts, two beautiful, high-quality metal sculpts from the Perry Brothers, and then I'll give one away this week, and I'll give one away next week when we do a battle report. And you guys will remember that last week, or last fortnight, I should say, we did Samwise the Brave. We had a wonderful Sam episode, and because we're sort of working towards maybe an Osgiliath or a Cirith Ungol arc, according to our beloved Holy Bible here, there is a bit of an Osgiliath theme happening in the issues at the moment, but I think, seeming as we've got the Dol Guldur ruin half built, which feels very Cirith Ungol, we might leap over there, which could be very fun. All right, let me jump into the chat and say good morning to everyone while everyone's logging on and getting their notification, and then we're going to dive straight in and get painting, because we've got two awesome orcs to paint, and I have a meeting with a mortgage broker at 10 in 2 hours, so I can't run late for once. Alright, Jazzy Payne says, good morning everyone, morning Jazz. Frederick is here, he says, why the hell are we early this time? Well, I was on time, I don't know. I had everything painted, it's not a big battle report, there was less to set up, and I was like, sod it, we're getting involved. I yammer on for the first 15 minutes anyway, so we might as well get into it. Saruman the White says, I don't know, and Frederick says, well, the White Wizard should know things such as being late, early, or on time. Very true. Glenn says, such enthusiasm. Yeah, man, that intro. Need a new, beautiful intro. Good morning, Gary. Hey, Woodsy. Matty Hogg's joining us. Saruman says, my Gavanen, and to you. We've got James joining us. The intro is awesome, needs no change. Just an update on the voiceover. I don't know what it is. It sounds like I'm so young. It's like really high pitched. Yeah, we've got Saruman and Shadowkin. We've got Stephen from the Netherlands. We've got Wolftrem joining us. Needs to finish my master thesis, so he's hanging out with us instead. That seems like a solid career move. Excellent work, Wolf Team. Flame of Voodoo's made it. Excited to watch the Zorp live stream on Insanity unfold. What will be gloriously botched on the way to another epic build today? Just orcs. I can't mess up orcs too badly. All we're doing is painting some nice, safe sculpts. The great thing about orcs is they're filthy, so all mistakes just look like weathering. It's going to be great. We've got the One True Held here says, another Zorp stream, something to improve my current self-isolation period. Oh, I hope everything's well over there with you, but always happy to put a smile on people's faces. Why can't I see my face properly? There we go. Sorry, my little flip screen wasn't working. Federico is joining us. We've got 43 people tuning in first thing in the morning. Very nice, very nice. Well done to everyone. So, I think what we'll have a do now, that's English, is we'll flip around and we'll have a look through the magazine, because, as we know, these are the retro magazines, and there are some gems in there, and some of these orc profiles are hilarious. We're going to have a flip through those, have a look at their little painting guide, and then we're going to get stuck in. Good morning, Declan. I see you. How are you, dude? We've got some lovely little dudes to paint. We've got interesting sort of variation in sculpts too. We've got like a very leathery focused orc and then a bit more of a metal kind of armored focused orc. So let's move this camera around and give you guys a look at what we're painting today. Move this big old thing. What are we all painting today? You guys, you got anything on the bench? Wood? It's all high professional camera work here at Zorp. Alright, let's have a look. As I was saying, it's all very high professional camera work here at Zorp. We've got a couple of these bad boys. Oh man, the magnet is strong. This is our beautiful Spearman Orc. Just get my mic down over here so you guys can hear me. So this guy is from the Mordor Warbow set, I think, which I must have somewhere because I just found him. He's just been primed black with like just a grey kind of over the top, so it's a little bit Xanathal, but not really. And then we've got this other little fellow here as well, the Mordor Urukai with the big club, modelled straight out on one of the stills from the film, who's about to crush some people's heads in. Very nice. Ooh, Mark's working on his converted Barrow-wights. Very nice, very nice. One True Held here is writing up plans for his Angmar army. Ooh, let's talk that. Okay, so we have an event coming up here in Brisbane, which I'll hopefully be able to attend. It's our Christmas event, and at the Christmas event, we like to do things pretty crazy, I think it's safe to say. And so it's an 800-point doubles event with my long-term doubles companion, Mr. John Yance. And we'll usually always run Lothlorien and Rohan, or at least talk about it. And this year is all alliances are green, even good and evil. So I'm going to be running my Angmar, and John's going to be running his Lothlorien. And I currently have Kylie from the Green Dragon writing up filthy lists for us. We're going to be combining like Barrow-wights, providing magic support to like Celeborn, or the Neg 1 Harbinger from the Witch King, combining with Wood Elf Sentinels and their songs, using Spectres and Sentinels to like control people around. It's going to be really interesting combining Lothlorien with Angmar. I'm very, very excited. Let's get this light over here. So issue number 24, and let's have a look at what's happening today. The lands of Mordor. Mordor is a place of evil, spoken in hushed tones throughout Middle-earth, and home to the Dark Lord Sauron. For years no word has come from that accursed land, but now fire rises from Mount Doom, and the hordes of Sauron prepare for war. There is evil there that does not sleep, says Boromir. Good quote. So, check out these profiles. Alright, we've got Grishnak, the Orc captain. He is Fight 4, Strength 4, Defense 5, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, and Courage 3. I think that hasn't changed. He can take a shield for 5 points, and he is 3-1-1. I think the only difference is now he's slightly more expensive and he has a special rule. What's Grishnak's special rule? I can't remember, but he's changed slightly. The Orc Captain looks pretty much the same. Fight 4, Strength 4, Defense 5, 2 attacks and 2 wounds. He is 2 Might, 1 Will, 1 Fate. That's the same. Obviously he can take a 2-handed weapon as well. We've got Gorbag here. Now this is different. We've got a 3 Might hero. Fight 4, Strength 4, Defense 5, 2 attacks. We're painting Gorbag up soon in a future episode. We've got Movis the Green joining us from Greece. Mike Blake says, Lockie, my boy, when are we seeing some more battle companies? Definitely on here. I won't do battle companies again on the main channel, I don't think. I don't think it'll do too well now. Our audience metrics have changed too much. Basically, like, battle reports need to be really closely tied to big terrain pieces, I think, on the main channel. So, I really want to run, like, a battle companies campaign, like, live stream. I think that'd be really, really fun. Yeah, Backstabbers. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Buck and Duck Michael. And Frederick says Backstabbers. And Gorbag has the Orcish Brawler. Yeah, and +1 Courage. So that's Gorbag's ability where he gets the +1 fight and attack when he's outnumbered. I think that's what it is. Now let's have this Orc Warrior. Orc Warrior is pretty much the same. He doesn't have the 2-handed weapon option. Oh, no, he does. Except it's free here in the old days, as it should be still. 2-handed weapons should not cost any points. They're too much of a drawback as it is. They're not good enough for a point. We've got Shagrat. He's 55 points. He's got that Fight 5, but he doesn't have his amazing special rules with knocking down on the charge and his beautiful shield and all that goodness. We've got an Uruk-hai captain here, which I think is sort of meant to be like a Mordor Uruk-hai captain. And he is basically Shagrat without a point of might. So he's 2 might. We've got a Kirathungal Uruk-hai, which is the original incarnation of the Mordor Uruk-hai that we are painting today. It's not quite the same sculpt in the picture, but it's the same model as you can see there with the chainmail. And he is 10 points, and he's basically got an Uruk-hai stat line, which is that defense 5. So he can go up to defense 6 if he gets the shields, which I don't think they can do anymore. I believe they're actually only defense 4 to defense 5 these days, because they're that weak point. Only the Black Guard can get up to D6, I'm pretty sure. I think they're only wearing armor, not heavy armor. So some fun stuff. That's it. That's all the Orc profiles we have at this point. There's no Orc trackers. There's no Morgul stalkers. There's no kind of extra spicy juiciness. Yeah, they look so tough. They look so tough, Mark. They're just... Look at these guys. They're so gnarly. They're ready to cave some skulls in. The big clubs and everything. I just love them. I love the sculpts so much. They're really, really fun. Top Table Steve has joined us. He says, Evening Pal, painting up Thrain the Broken for a future battle report whilst listening to your beautiful voice. Oh, thank you, Steve. I can do some very nice, soft-spoken and deep, rumbly tones, if you like. I can't really do deep rumbly tones at all. I get that beautiful timbre going, really get you into that painting, relaxation, zen mode. Yeah, I've got Thrain being painted up by my my little commission painter, Mr. Jacques from Conflict Colors. He's a good one. He's an interesting little sculpt. Trying to find out what on earth colors he should be was such a challenge, because the few frames in the film, you know, there's not a lot there to see. There's no good stills, and the stills of the costume look so different from the movies because the movies were so heavily graded in post. It was crazy. Then there was just a little crazy battle report, which was following on from the battle report in the last edition. And then we've got the painting guide for Mordor Orcs, and they're talking about armor and weapons and leather. Let's have a look. How does their orc turn out? Oh, their orc's pretty rough. Their orc's pretty rough. Not gonna lie. They do the classic, really kind of reddy brown skin, which I love for my orcs. We might try a blue skinned orc today. We'll do a bluey and a red. James says, finally woke up in time for the start. Good work, Mr. Gaywood. And then an absolute rubbish article about a bits box. This is total filler. I didn't want to make a terrain tutorial for issue number 24. All right, let's get painting, lads and ladettes. What do we got here? Orky, paint water. Let's bring this mic even further over. Now, I'll tell you what we're going to do today to prevent my excruciating back pain that happened 2 weeks ago, is I'm just going to shift everything over. Now, you would have thought I would have, had this prepared, but I don't, so bite me. I need to not be twisting my back as I'm sitting and painting. There we go, that should be much better. Okay, so we need some paint. What paint do we need? Let's have a look at these guys. Obviously, I think we might start with metals. Metals are a really easy starting point for orcs. They're nice and clear. So we'll grab our... what do we got? We might even go bolt gun metal, and then we'll do a bit of typhus corrosion and create some really yucky rusted up metals. Let's see if I have any typhus left. Ooh, look at that. That is proper separated down there. So we'll grab a... I finally have agitators. Some of you guys might remember the long process of me jumping on eBay and buying some glass beads. I was speaking about it for over a year before I finally got around to it. Just going to pop one in here, so that when I shake it up, it just mixes it really nicely. You won't need to shake typhus that much, I don't think. It's really a pretty solid little paint. And then I've got my bolt gun metal in here, which, should have an agitator in it, but I think it's so gummed up. Oh, you know what? Maybe it doesn't. We'll pop one in bolt gun metal as well. It's ridiculous that my lead belches have dried up, but bolt gun metal. It's going the distance. It's going the distance. Oil wash. We could do an oil wash. I've got some oils kicking around somewhere. We could do another enamel wash if needed. Oh my goodness, my brush is losing my point. Gotta stop trashing them. Okay. There we go, point straight back. So we're gonna start off with a little bit of lead belcher. Let's see if you guys can see. Might bring that light down a little bit more. Is that too hot? No, I think you guys should see that pretty well. And we're just going to overbrush this. I don't really mind if the metal is like a bit splotchy, frankly. It's kind of fun, especially where it like fades away to black. I might apply that in like a deliberately sort of textured and patchy way to start to build up a bit of texture into the metal work. Where else would be metal? Oh, that all down there is metal. I really love painting orcs. There we go. I don't have a lot of paint left on the brush. It's getting the application is getting really kind of gross. I'm almost overbrushing at this point. Get a little bit more. One area we do want reasonable application is the chainmail, so that it actually reads. So I'll get some... God, these sculpts are so nice. It's night and day painting the old metals versus the old plastics. It's why I have all metal armies most of the time. All mounted Angmar, all like Rohan Royal Guard. I just paint so infrequently. If I'm going to paint, I want the models to be amazing, amazing detail. Get his nice little pick head to get a bit of black on there. Oh yeah, there's another bit of chainmail poking through in there. Look at that chainmail all the way down the back of the hands. Oh, such lovely sculpts. I think I'll make these shin guards and gloves leather. Should be up a bit higher for you, sorry. That's flesh, that's leather. There's a little bit of metal there. Chaos says, was last time a battle report? No, I'm doing a bit of a run of painting. We did Sam last week, and then we're going to do our Orcs this week as we sort of build towards a little Kirathungal campaign on the Dorgal Dual board. Get those dodgy, patchy metals happening. Mark, I have the meeting with the broker straight after the stream. It's happening, finally. Just picked a little local dude down there. Gary says, I'm thinking about the White Council. I really like the frazzled-looking Gandalf. Oh, dude, they're so expensive, though. Ridiculous price here in Australia. $110 for four fine-cast sculpts, where 2 of them are not great. The Saruman's pretty bloody average, and the Elrond is nice-ish, but like you're never going to use it because he doesn't have his armor. The Gandalf is lovely, and the Galadriel is lovely, but far out. 40 quid that is in England. $110 for us. Absolutely ridiculous. Alright, let's see. Now, this orc is a very metal orc. He's metal! We've got his... sorry, a very leather orc, I should say. We've got a helmet here. Which, honestly, you could even model as like a leather coif. But just to give him a bit more variety, I'll definitely make this metal. We've got the club head. Yeah, Jesus, $130. $130 in New Zealand. New Zealand and Australia basically have the same exchange rate at the moment. You're paying 130 and we're paying 110. New Zealand, like NZ British pound, it would be about $85, and you're paying 130. It's gotta stop. It's fucking ridiculous. The exploitation of small markets. Oh, it's awful. Drives me crazy. Absorb a margin. Take a tiny fractional hit to your margin and support a fledgling community, Games Workshop. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, sorry. Sorry, international viewers, I won't go on about it, but it is an Australian thing, a New Zealand thing. It's like, honestly, like, Games Workshop's attitudes are like single-handedly propping up the Chinese and Russian recasting markets. Because most, like, especially in other systems, it's not as prevalent in Middle Earth. But it happens, but it's not as prevalent. But you get sort of judged if you go to a heresy tournament and your armies aren't recast. Like, and Games Workshop have actively cultivated that attitude in their customers by alienating them with insane price discrepancies. Especially for Forge World. It's bananas. I can't understand it. Anyway. No more whinging about prices. Just bum me out. Yeah, Michael says this is why I just buy everything from England to get it sent here cheaper. Yeah, sometimes I do that. If it's you know, some special stuff. Alright, looks like we got a good covering of metallic elements. I chose to make his greaves and his braces metal, even though they would probably be leather, again, just because we want a little bit of metallic elements on this guy, because he's basically got all leather. That's all our metal base coat's done. I think now we'll go into Typhus Corrosion. Yeah, Forge World's mental. Forge World is mental. And the thing that's insane about Forge World is you can pretend to justify the warehousing costs for Games Workshop products, because, oh, they've got an Australian warehouse, they've got Australian staff, their warehouse is in Sydney and costs them nothing, they've got barely any warehouse staff compared to, like, you know, revenue. Like, sure, Australian staffing costs are slightly higher than the slave labour wages of the UK. So, there, you know, some pricing... Oh, whoa, let's not use Typhus Corrosion with my nice red grass brush. So, you know, there's some justification for, like, Games Workshop's prices being discrepant. But for Forge World, when an Australian buys from Forge World, they literally ship it from Forge World in the UK. There's no additional work except for like a 5-second customs form. As someone who fills out hundreds of those forms, it's not a big deal. And then they charge, you know, 35 to 40% markup. It's nuts. It's nuts. And they know it. They're just exploiting a market who are willing to pay more. That's all it is. They want to sell less for more. It's ridiculous. Anyway. Alright, let's get some typhus corrosion on this guy. Let's really grime up. I'm just going to do little dots here and there, and then boop it away with my finger. Just sort of like blend it into the steel. It's quite a fun little technique, this. Blend it in, give it some little boops. Sometimes I actually... This is what I used to do when I was doing this on mass for things, is I'd have a blending brush and like a depositing brush. So you put a little bit of typhus down. There we go. Put a little bit of typhus down. And then blend it around with a second brush. I think it'll look really nice on sort of these larger surfaces. So it becomes really smeary and stainy, but it doesn't leave those like pretty insane sort of high contrast lines. I'm almost dry brushing some of this on now, which looks quite cool. I haven't tried that before. It's a real smeary stain on the metal. We might get a little bit more fresh stuff. Bill says just make everything out of beads. We don't all have your thrifty beadcraft skills, Bill. Beadcraft. We'll do a collab, Bill, where we build an entire Lord of the Rings army out of beads. Say no to Forge World, say yes to beads. Alright, there we go. Just a little bit of typhus worked in. I will apply, like, another wash to that as well. But we'll get cracking on our other base coats before we do that. Just something to spice it up. The new Balin's Tomb is up for pre-order this Saturday. Balin's Tomb? Do you mean Arm One Hen? I don't think there's a new Balin's Tomb. I think I'd be aware of that. I think you mean Arm One Hen, Shadowkin. Is anyone gonna grab it? Says Shadowkin, going blind. Alright, let's start diving into some leather colors. I think we're gonna work with a grey leather first. I'll grab Black Templar. I need to get that layer down now before it goes, so that it's got time to dry, because it is a contrast. But that requires me to find it. Snakebite leather. Oh, actually, I will use some snakebite leather because we've got a nice deep dark brown, dark grey to begin with, which is where snakebite leather does its best work. Here's Black Templar. Oh, Balin's Tomb game. Oh, you mean this thing? This bad boy. Where's my... well, you get to see the corner of it. This thing. The board game. Yeah, sorry, of course. The Balin's Tomb board game. What am I talking about? Yeah, I haven't opened it yet or played it or anything. It's probably alright. It'll be like a nice sort of beginner entry-level board game, I think, which would be great. Just sort of rope in that casual board gamey crowd and convert them to the lands of Warhammer. I think that's probably its market. But we'll see. Alright, so contrast paint going down on this big cloak. This is basically just giving me that re-base coat, which I'll wet blend over, so it doesn't matter if it's a little bit streaky, but I'll try to get the application as nice as I can. This is going to be a dark grey overcoat. And for a bit of interest, I think I'll leave this leather cowl around his neck a separate color, and we'll decide that it's not part of the cloak, that it's like a neckerchief attached to the helmet. So I think that will make it a little bit more visually interesting, and we'll make that like a brown or something. Alright, down goes our Black Templar. Black Templar contrast. It's just a nice way to get a little bit of something. We'll have to do something cool with the color of the fur as well. It's another really great way to break up some stuff with this model. I think, is it snakebite leather I used to like using for fur? I think so. I'm giving it a dry brush. Oh, remind me, guys, to show you some of my converted Uruk-hai. They're on the shelf behind me. I'll get a few layers down first, and then we'll have a look at them, because I absolutely love them. I love them so much, and I haven't managed to paint them yet. Alright, a little bit of Black Templar there should be good. We might do like a beige on some of these orc elements. Do you need anything black? I don't think so. Kenny says, classic Zorpe. What Barlin's Tomb release while the unreleased game is within arm's reach? Yes, it's a bit like that. Alright. Oh, that's funny. Alright, let's whack down some snakebite leather. I'm busting out the contrast today. JS Wargamer says, I'm gonna get it for the models if it's cheaper than buying the models separately. Yeah, so you get a frame of 12 Moria Goblins, a frame of the Plastic Cave Troll, and the Fellowship. So it's only 12 Moria Goblins. It's not the same as the old starter set or anything. Where should this leather go? I don't actually... I think that skirt looks a bit too much like cloth than leather. Let's go leather on this guy's tabard. This over tunic thing. So I think we can say that that's leather pretty easily. God, snakebite leather looks absolutely amazing over dark grey. It looks terrible over lighter colours, but over dark grey, it just looks fabulous. Alright. Picked out a nice little bit of leather there, and I've totally changed my mind. This colour's so good, we are using it on this guy. We're going to give this guy a little snakebite leather skirt. Because maybe it's a leather tabard hanging down from underneath his big plate. Big torso. Chest plate there. There we go. I guess we'd better do the sleeves as well. That's that. I don't know how much it costs in answer to that question, so I can't help you there. As for, like, you know, the value proposition of buying it instead of buying the models. But I mean, the plastic Fellowship sculpts are pretty garbage anyway, so you can do nice things with them, I guess, if you're a really talented painter. But they're you know, there's so many amazing metals out there for the heroes. I would be painting those. Oh, I think I missed a whole bunch of metal. I don't know. I think I'll put some other colours on this guy. I'll do like a beige underneath or something, or a light grey. Let's use this snakebite leather to also be the shaft of the stick, and then I'll make it a bit different later on with some different highlights. But it's such a nice base tone for a light timber colour that we'll use it as the base tone. Oh, I found a colour I like. I'll just use it on everything. That seems like a sound plan. I can't imagine how that would go wrong. Now I'm like, oh, you know what? I'll put it on his shoes too. No, stop. It's all over the model. Calm down. We'll use a different shaft colour for that. I am going to use this for his fur, but we will make it look different with a different highlight in a sec. So even though it's going to look very samey at the moment, it will get different. So I'll put it there on his fur. He's got some fur poking through here. And then I need it. Oh, this is all supposed to be leather as well, we decided. So I have to obey that decision. Painting orcs is so fun. You just do it. You just get in and be like, alright, that's gonna be that, because I've decided. Alright, let's do some khaki. I'm feeling some khaki. Let's base tone some khaki. I don't feel bad converting garbage plastic, says Mark. Honestly, I totally agree. I love the fellowship set for that. There's a guy on Instagram, I think he's called Heroic Highlights, and he does these amazing little dioramas, and he cuts up all the plastic fellowship kits for it. He's been doing an Arm on Hen series. It's just been fabulous. Oh, I don't have my wet palette out. That's not helpful. Here's some khaki. Is it within reach? Oh, look, it's where it's supposed to be. Brilliant. I don't know if it's got any water in it, though. I haven't used it for 2 weeks. Let's see. Oh, look at that. Everything is still moist. There you go, red grass. There's some promotion for the quality of your seal. Look at that. Perfect. The paper probably needs to be replaced, but it's good enough for today. And I don't know why I've started painting with my garbage brush. Let's paint with this guy. So we'll get some. We'll pick some khaki elements here. I don't know why, but I've really just gone all in with bringing some neutrals in. Normally my orcs are a bit more grey than this, but I'm digging, bringing in browns and beiges. I'll leave that belt. That'll end up being a grey. So he's got this like cloth sack underneath. So it comes out underneath his legs, but it also pokes through underneath the leather layer, the leather tabard that he's wearing. And this khaki always looks really bright when it goes down, and then it sort of neutrals off. Get a little bit in here. Careful not to get it on the black. That won't read well at all. Oh, that should have been leather. So should that. Foolish, Lockie. We'll go back and get that. Little bit of khaki. Just peeking through. I think that's. Oh no, that would be khaki too, because this is that same undershirt. Yeah. So just here on the sleeve. Oh, that's not really in focus. I just punch down my ISO a bit. It's getting quite bright when I come in close. No, that way. There we go. Yeah, the Boromir is like, you know, he's so dynamic. I just can't go past the detail drop for me. But hey, if you enjoy painting them and you're making them work, who cares? But I'm just a big metal snob. Love me my metals. Here's some. There is a really weird bit of cloth here that's quite hard to see, but it is there. And then it's got some hair kind of flowing out over it. There we go. Look at that. We'll jump back to snakebite leather again. Yeah, that's a great way to paint hordes. Flame of Voodoo says, when horde painting, I try to keep 1 or 2 unifying colors and then vary it with 1,000 shades of 2 or 3 accents. Yeah, 100%. So you do like grays, browns, beiges, and then you just tint stuff with different shades, different contrasts. It's a really good suggestion. Alright, God, how good does snakebite leather look? I just love that contrast. Alright, let's grab that khaki on a beat up old brush. Just going to take off a bit of it on my hand. I'm just going to dry brush this. Wow. I'm just going to dry brush the fur. That's way too much. We were just going to dry brush it, but then I ended up putting way too much on. There we go, that's what we wanted. Just doing a little dusty dry brush to some of the leather as well. Cool, 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 cool. We'll give that fur a big wash in time. Now I think I'm going to decide that is flesh. So we got to decide. Yeah, this guy basically just needs washes. Oh, let's do his cloak. Let's have a look at this Abaddon Black. Is this usable? Hey, it is very usable. I'm going to grab some Abaddon Black, whack it on the palette. We're going to grab some Stonewall Grey, if I can find it. Heavy Blue Grey. Stonewall Grey. It's just my neutral grey. Good evening, Michael. Thanks for watching, Glenn. We'll see you next time. Enjoy watching when you finish work. I'm just going to mix up my classic blend of wet blending grey highlights. Nothing too crazy. You guys will have seen it before. Unless you're new. Alright, we'll start with the dark grey. Dark grey is going to go basically everywhere. Really, really broad. It's pretty much everywhere. Then I'm going to grab the lighter grey and just blend this straight in while it's wet. Just going on the raised areas. Definitely isn't my nicest blend. It's pretty streaky. It'll all darken down when it dries. Forgot this inside here. Man, that black contour, the Black Templar went really dark. That's okay. My cousin roped me into playing some Halo Infinite last night, as the multiplayer is free. Oh my. Oh man. Straight back to my childhood. It was good fun. And then I'll just mix in a bit of a brighter grey, and we'll be, pretty sparing with this one. Just blend it into that wet paint. Just going into the highlights. See, as you can see, each time I return, as I flip it over, it's dried again. Basilicanum Grey is awesome. Honestly, I may end up washing this with Basilicanum Grey. It's really coming together. Once this highlight's going down, all of a sudden it's really working, which is nice. I'm actually finding myself building more and more of the highlight in than I intended, and lightening off the cloak. Because I'm quite liking how it looks. So I'm making it a bit of a lighter grey cloak, but that's fine. We might just put down some highlights on this belt. Some little edge highlights. Just to give it a little bit. So I'll probably just wash that and call it done. So he's got a little grey belt there. That's looking nice. We're going to grab some dark brown. Hey Miguel, thanks for joining us again, dude. Been a little while since we've seen you. Yeah, all doing well here. Hey, Dirk's in! Evening, Dirk. Can't wait to hope you enjoy watching again in real time tomorrow. That's another game that's been entering the rounds lately. I don't know if you guys have been playing, is Mordor, which Dirk himself kindly sent me. I was jumping through the tutorial earlier in the week. It's got like a really nice intuitive combat system like Mountain Blade does, which you guys may remember that as a big fan of mine, where like, you know, where you look is where your sword swings. Swords come in from different angles. When you're blocking, you've got to have your block in the right place. Just been spending a bit of time doing the tutorial, checking it all out. It's looking very awesome. And Mountain Blade, of course, has just completely died. Bannerlord was, like, you know, super exciting, and technically it's still in early access, I guess, but, like, the community for online matchmaking is non-existent in Australia. You just can't get a game. And there's no way to make custom games, so it's not like our friend, me and my mates can stomp bots in it. It's quite disappointing, frankly. The single-player campaign is apparently pretty good, which, you know, I used to love, but I don't have much time for that now. But Mordor sort of like fills that gap. I think that's how you say it, Mordor. It's kind of like the multiplayer experience that I wanted from Bannerlord. So it's I'm keen to dive into that more as well. And it's nice because it's the same thing with Halo Infinite. They're a little bit more casual and drop in and out, which is a bit more suited to the very limited time I have to play games these days. Alrighty, Roo. Right, guys, I just did some dark brown on the timber pole and the straps around the back of his legs. So I think he is ready for washers and then flesh, and he's finished. Smashing him we are. Still a lot of work to do on this guy. This guy's basically only just started. I've got this darker brown out, so let's just do something with that. I'll put it around the little bits of rope that are holding in the pick thing that he's got there. I think I want to do something interesting with these greaves. Let's make them grey, which they already are, conveniently. We'll give them a few little highlights. That'll end up being flesh. There's some metal that I've missed. Yeah, well, seeing as I missed metal over there as well, we'll actually get the metal back out this time. Normally I don't. Normally I just go, and we're going to turn it into something else. But finding two big pits of metal that I missed, it's time to fix that. Let's fix that now. Oh, I want khaki shoes on this guy. That's right. Warhammer Old World. I mean, yeah, obviously I'm a huge Warhammer Fantasy fan, which many of you might remember. I didn't play a lot when I was a kid. Literally only a couple of games or something. But I always loved the world, and I always followed it. Until it got blown to smithereens. Alright, in comes a little bit of... But yeah, that won't be out for ages, I don't think. A little bit more silver in here, in this little chest plate region that I completely neglected. And then there's some plates up here on the shoulder pads that I also completely neglected, who just need a bit of silver. Alright, let's get the beige back out. And put some beige down on this guy's weird sandal things. It's really hard to work out what is going on with these. So that's his foot there, so... Man, what is happening with these? What is this? What is this meant to be? Okay. Some kind of goofy sandal that goes around the ankle and then stops, I think. Yeah, it doesn't. So he's actually walking on his heels. Is he? No. No, that must all be the base of the sandal. Okay. And then his toes are poking out the bottom. Weird little shoes. Well, it was just weirdly sculpted on that one leg. Now, don't be alarmed if these look a bit bright. There we go. A little bit of beige in there, just like, you know, breaking up the scheme a bit. Probably shouldn't be doing the brightest color on the shoes, drawing the eye away. That's bad painting theory, but I don't care. He's an orc. Yeah, it's funny. This khaki, it sort of starts so warm and then it goes really cool as it dries. It's always interested me. I'm just going to highlight these dark brown little ropes that we put here. Nice, nice. Alright, we've done his loincloth. So he's basically up to flesh. Oh, I've missed a bit of spear shaft there. Which colour did I use the spear shaft? That was the leather colour. Yes, the Medieval 2. Oh, man. I still haven't tried. I think it's called the Third Age, isn't it? The Medieval 2 Lord of the Rings mod. I have been planning on trying it for so long, and I still haven't got around to it. But I've heard nothing but good things. Here's some more leather that I've missed. Dude, orcs come together fast. We are not going to be streaming for 2 hours today. Alright. Let's start doing some washes, I think, and then we'll dive into flesh tones. The Third Age mod is amazing. Yeah, is Third Age, James, the Medieval 2 one? So up first, we're going to start with a bit of Nuln Oil, and we'll hit that into the metallics, and probably some of the greys. Yeah, I've heard the Crusader Kings Lord of the Rings mod is pretty good too. Let's get this nice juicy Nuln Oil into all the metallics. Really get them to sing. Same with these grey leather braces and the chainmail. Oh, that was the other thing I forgot to do, is the straps on this guy. It's okay, we can do them after. They don't need to be Nuln Oiled. And we've got our little armor plates across the shoulders. We've got that one will be agraxed, so that might be, oh yeah, the back of the chainmail here. That might be the end of the Nuln Oil work on this model. We'll put a little bit on the cloak. And I'll put some browns down around the base. But the big one here is these greaves, the belt. The belt is big. As soon as you put the Nuln Oil on the belt, it just comes to life. That looks awesome. The shin pads, they're metal. They need a bit of Nuln. I'll do all the shoes as well, because we'll just leave them grey. That's looking really nice. Oh, just adjusting my seat position. Sorry, people. I'm sitting on the angle that kills my back. Naughty. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's get some Agrax Earthshade in. Lockie needs to help the Tabletop Alliance with the SBG rules. How did they get to 300,000 subs? I have no idea who they are. Who is the Tabletop Alliance? Reichland Fleshshade. Where's my Agrax? Agrax Earthshade. Oh, James knows who they are. Tabletop Lines. I mean, I don't really watch a whole lot of people in my space, to be perfectly honest. I don't really watch a whole lot of YouTube. You know, it's just with work and parenting, it's pretty gnarly. I just, I try and keep on top of all of my good mates' content. That's like enough work as it is. Trying to see what all my friends are uploading and stay on top of their stuff. I'm so behind. I still haven't watched Eric's amazing Monster Bash video. I really want to see with the kaiju stuff, the Godzilla-y kind of monsters. That looked awesome. There's so many awesome creators now. It's really hard to keep up. So I find my limited YouTube time is like catching up on my mates, who I'm like, I haven't seen their stuff in so long. I'm just throwing down a little bit of Agrax over the my god, those birds outside are going off. A little bit of Agrax over the leather, snakebite leather, just to deepen it, give it a little bit more. A little bit more something something. Don't mind if some of the brown spills onto the armor. Just makes it look dirty. And of course the Agrax Earthshade is going all over these khaki shoes. Gotta filth those up. Alright, speaking of khaki, the undershirt on this guy, in desperate need of some Agrax Earthshade. I'll basically just Agrax Earthshade almost the whole model at this point. It's an orc, just slather it on, do you know? Agrax Earthshade can only improve an orc. I'm going to put it on the fur. Going to put it on this leather running around the back of his helmet. I'm going to put it on the mace head, actually. Make that really kind of yucky and gnarly. I'll put a little bit on around the base of the grey tunic. Is that even on camera? Yeah, no, it's good. Just to sort of filth that up a little bit, just along the bottom there. Looks good. Just blend it. Like I've got null and oil, so I'm just sort of blending them together. I'm going to put a little bit of Agrax on the metal plates as well around his feet because they'd be dirty. Yeah, that's looking pretty sick. He just needs flesh tones. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat, talk to me about skin tones. What should we do for our two orcs? What colors should we do? Oh, thanks, Miguel. I haven't been able to do many battle reps for ages because we've been locked down for so long. And I'm down on the New South Wales border, and everyone else is across the Queensland border. Luckily, I've got one good mate down here, Ryan, who will be hopefully back on the channel in December to do the next Minas Tirith battle report. But basically what happened was, because I was like, alright, I'm not going to be able to film battle reports for ages, you know, I'll kick off all of these massive terrain projects, and now they all need to be finished first. Which is hard. So blue on the Urukai has been requested. Now I've already got a great kind of grey base tone for that, so we can just work up off that. So I'm going to find some blues. A real shadow grey would be good. I've got this Ahriman blue, which might be nice worked into with a bit of grey. Ooh, look at this. I've got rust grey. That's exactly what I want. Alright, whoa, he needs a shake. Crikey. He has not been opened since rust grey. What did I buy that for? That was for a video. Necron painting tutorial, I think it was for. That I ended up pulling off the channel. It did so badly. Alright. Still in the playlist if anyone wants it, but it's unlisted. Alright. A little bit of rust grey. This might be too sharp at the start. No, it's perfect. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. Oh, good call, guys. This looks sick. Just blending that straight over the grey prime. In amongst all the layers. That's really cool. I like that. Good call. on the toes. I've got big bits of leg back here. There's some elbow poking out here. Just focusing on getting some reasonable coverage at this point. Still, you know, not putting it deep into the recesses, but just establishing the tone so that, you know, it looks like the skin. And it separates it, giving it some different values, some different saturation and luminance values from the other colors, so that it's really obvious where the skin is. That's what this pass is about. And then we can have a look, see what it's like. You know, does it just need a shade? Does it need extra highlights now to sort of make it work? Although it's coming together pretty nicely. Subtle but solid. That is a great base tone. Right, while that's just blending in, what should we do for our bluish green and red? What the hell is Russ? Russ Grey. Yeah, it's like a layer. It's like a slightly lighter than the old Shadow Grey, I think, James. Hey, Josh is in. I paint all my orc skin based on the type of orc. Browns, reds for Morannon, lighter grey for Mordor orcs, terracotta for Isengard Uruk-hai, and tan for trackers, and dark grey and black for Mordor Uruk-hai. I like that. That's cool. The next secret project, I mean, anyone could have worked out the next secret project in the first 5 minutes of this stream because it was sitting behind me. And all the Patreons already know what it is, so the information's out there. But Shadowkeen, at the end, I'll do a little pan over, and you can have a look. When we do our giveaway, you'll see it. Alright, so we've got this little Mordor orc here. I'm loving these blue greys. So let's have a look at his... He's got lots of browns and metals. There's not a lot happening for him. A dark skin tone probably isn't going to work. So we probably want to do something that's brighter. Why don't we do like someone said green. Why don't we try like a sickly green color? Or like, you know, greeny pale. I've got Elysian green here. That's really, really green. Oh, I tell you what I do have. We have got 1993 Goblin Green from Mr. Damien O'Byrne. That's in there. James says, I never get to take part in the guessing challenges. I know too much. Yes. Unfortunately, that's the downside of being in the inner circle. Getting everything spoiled. We could do a little shade work over some lighter stuff. What's this? Well, look at pale, fleshy kind of colours I'm looking for. I think I'll have to blend something. So we'll blend in a bit of bone white and maybe some Kislev with something. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. KS says mix a bit of grey into any colour and you got a perfect orc skin tone. So let's get a bit of this goblin green. Here we go. Oh, there's not much of it left. Oh, that's too much. I'm not wasting this. I keep trying to put paint off and it keeps going back in. All right. I'm putting down some goblin green. Oh, that was so not enough for blending. I've tried to be too conservative and I will have wasted it. And now we want to get a little bit of this grey. And we're just going to blend it together. Can you guys see this? Yeah, good. So I'm blending in some grey. Yeah, still need a bit more. Still need a bit more. Here we go. Look at this. This is a gross colour. And now what we want to do is just really lightly go in and use this to like rebase for sure. But I'm gonna leave that grey in the recesses. Oh my god, this is a sick colour. Goblin green mixed with Stonewall grey. Oh, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. This is a gnarly orc skin tone. I like it. We've got all these huge legs. This orc's been doing leg day for sure. we got the... Oh, there's a visitor. Hello. What's happening?
Pretty please use sugar on top. Could you look after LED for 20 seconds while we run out to the car?
Yeah, sure.
Doesn't stay still anymore, and she keeps trying to death climb things.
Okie dokie. All right, we're painting.
We're going, run!
We're painting one-handed while I hold the baby. Here, it's baby's first paint. Here, hold the paintbrush, Elodie. I can't reach the frame. I can't reach the frame. Where's she gone? All right, here she goes. Elodie's doing the face. Hang on, can't even see. There we go. Oh, don't put your hands in the palette. I might move the wet palette. That's a disaster waiting to happen. Alright, here we go. Here we go, Elodie. What are we going to paint? We need to paint the back of the leg. No! So close. The paint's dried on the brush. No, it hasn't. Woohoo! There we go. Elodie painted a leg. Good job, honey. Well done. Alright. You can just watch what Daddy's doing. So, we got a little bit more of this green to go. Oh, got to get some off my palette and then get the palette out of here. Before tiny fingers end up in it. Good girl. And then we need a little bit more green on this leg. Obviously, the toes as well on this guy. Oh, whoop, whoop. Thrashing baby. Good girl. A little bit of toes. Sorry if the camera angle sucks right now. That's looking cool. That's looking really cool. I love this orc tone. We've got this hand as well to do. Oh, I can hear Mummy coming back. Oh, there's these fingers up here. See, look, see what I mean? Like, it's not finished, we've got more to do, but the lightness of the skin, all of a sudden the model's like coming to life because there's more contrast, right? Light skin tone was the way to go. Here you go. Did you find what you wanted?
No, that's what she's asking me. When you cleaned up last night, did you happen to find Little Toot Toot?
What is Little Toot Toot?
The little blue Toot Toot driving car that she had yesterday.
No.
We must have run inside. Alright, Hazel, let's go and look, see what we
Sorry,
can
honey.
find.
Good luck.
Sorry, stream.
We've lost the Toot Toot driving car. It's a calamity here in the Zorpazorp household this morning. Alright. So we need a little bit more on just hands and fingers and stuff. There we go. And this thumb is poking out from underneath the chainmail. We need another thumb here. Keep touching that up, keep touching that up. Oh man, it just looks so cool. This colour. Good old goblin green. Yeah, we'll touch up Elodie's handiwork. It was a little rough. It's a good start, but you know. Oh, that looks so good. I love this green. I'm so in love with it. Did the toes work? Yeah, it's gone even orkier as it's dried. Alright, so now we need to do some washes. Oh god, I really want to make the other orc green as well. I'm loving the green so much. Right, is anyone opposed to me turning them both green? I'm in love with this goblin green grey. You guys make that call. I'm going to wash the first one. Or the second one, I should say. The first green one. Now, I don't know what colour we should wash a green. Let's try Reikland Flesh Shade, my normal flesh wash. Good evening, Scorch. We'll try a bit of Reikland, and I don't know if it'll go weird green over the reddy brown, but usually it's pretty solid on skin tones. Yes, all in favour of the double green orc, say aye. Alright, there's lots of ayes, I'm going to keep painting that. The blue you were fun to experiment with, but, you know, we're embracing the power of goblin green today. I'll see if I can leave a little bit of the blue in the recesses just to give the shadows an interesting tint. the end of the day, when you mix the goblin green on the palette, you got to use it. You got to use it. Yes, look at that. Look at that. Do the face. Oh my goodness, this looks so cool. This looks really cool. Get that green. We need in here between the layers. Such good fun. A little bit more green here. It's just this palette. Everything just stays wet for so long. I do like wet palettes. They are fabulous. A little bit of green down here. It's probably all out of focus completely for you guys. My damn hands. Oh, I see how these shoes are meant to work. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Over the blue, it's gone like a slightly different shade. It looks really cool. Digging it even more. Really get those toes highlighted. The arches and then the heels are actually supposed to be leather. Which I've only just noticed, but that's fine. Loving it. Okay, let's right-click flesh shade that flesh, and then, ladies and gentlemen, I think we might be finished. Stream record. Should have got more orcs to paint. Didn't realize it would take me not that long. So we'll throw some right-click flesh shade down on them. Yeah, that's going to work great. Right-click looks amazing. Right-click flesh shade over all. Instant definition, instant skin tone. It is good stuff. Boom, and it's filthy. It makes the orcs look filthy and grimy. So good. I wonder if I have enough on my brush to keep going with this guy. Yeah, for now, but I'll need more. Dude, I love these sculpts. I love them. Alright, where's my Ryclon gone? Why did I put it away? Here it is, here it is. Chocolate bar is amazing. Apple barrel colors work great and they are cheap. I see. Oh, that's, yeah. KS says I've heard people using, purple tints. Yeah, certainly. Putting purple washes into the skin tone. Depends on what the skin tone itself is. But yeah, that's a thing. Looks good too. Bit of fingers. And then the face. These guys look amazing. Oh, these guys look awesome. Dude, I'm so happy. Two pretty damn easy orcs. So one of these guys is going to get given away today to our patrons. They're going to become the official sponsor, and we'll do one. We'll save one for when we do the battle report, and that can be the giveaway for the battle report. Where is the orc from the spear from? He is from a Mordor warbow siege crew, I'm pretty sure. Wait. Focus him. Where's me? Am I on 35? No, I'm not on 35 at all. There we go. Have a look at this guy. When you get so close on camera, they really start to look less good. He looks really awesome in person, but the way the front light's hitting him, it's not doing him any justice. If I hold it a bit further away, the lighting changes a little. He looks pretty flat and gross there. He looks amazing in person when he's like top lit. Let's see if the Mordor Urukai suffers the same. Yeah, these guys look so good in person and they're showing up appallingly on camera. That's the thing with orcs, though. Because they're dirty, they're not crisp, clean, bright, Christmassy Rohan colours. They often look a bit rubbish on camera, which can be really tricky. Yeah, oh, don't forget the conversions. Thank you, James. Let me grab my dudes. So these guys, I've got 3 there to show you, and then these. So these are for a Moria, Mordor, Denizens of Mirkwood alliance. It's a yellow alliance. It has Shelob and the Spider Queen, and Ashrak and Druzarg. So it's all about buffing the 2 spider heroes. So basically, the crux of it is that Shelob's main weakness is that she has survival instinct. So when she takes wounds, she has to take a courage test and eventually she flees. But she's a tank. She's got 6 wounds at defense 7 or 8. If she's fearless, that survival instinct means nothing. And the way you get her fearless is by casting Fury on her, or by casting Enrage Beast, and then she gets a courage buff for that turn. So I built a list that was all about absolutely souping up Shelob and the Spider Queen, so that on the charge, Shelob gets like... I can't remember... Off the top of my head, I can't remember it, but I think it's essentially Fight 10, Strength 9... 5 attacks on the charge with knockdown, and I kept sort of doing these. Oh, and she's got, you know, get Shroud of Shadows on her, so she's halving enemy fight value. Like, there's all this kind of crazy stuff that you can do, and I was running tests with it where I would pitch her against 400-point Sauron, and she would knock him over and kill him. And she's 90 points with, you know, Ashrak and Druzarg supporting. It's like another 100 points of Goblin heroes or whatever. But to ally in Shelob with a yellow alliance, she's an independent hero, you need a hero of valor. So then I decided, what if there was like some Dol Guldur orcs present? And so it's like these Moria orcs are on like an envoy down to Dol Guldur to meet up with the Necromancer. They've sent their spidery shaman dudes, and the Spider Queen is living inside the bottom of Dol Guldur, and the Spider Queen's husband is represented by Shelob's profile. So essentially, I had the Mouth of Sauron leading some Mordor orcs and Black Númenóreans, and they were like this little, I called it the cult of the spider, and so they were orcs and Númenórean, Black Númenóreans living in Dol Guldur, working for Sauron, and they were running this like cult where they were breeding spider monsters and who were going out to infect Dol Guldur, to infect Mirkwood. So the Spider Queen is like their brood queen that they're like inseminating to make spider babies, and Shelob's profile represents like the daddy spider, and then all the little other spiders, the giant spiders and the Mirkwood spiders, are like their children. And so it's pretty gnarly. But so I did all these crazy conversions for it. So these are my Dol Guldur orcs, which are just represented by normal orc profiles. This is my banner bearer. Whoop. So this is Shagrat with the mithril coat. He has had both his arms cut off, and he's been replaced with a Gundabad banner, a Gundabad helmet, and a Gundabad weapon here with resculpted armor plates. And then I've added another Gundabad weapon and then just a normal Mordor Orc shield. So this counts as a spear, but I guess you could use it as a two-handed weapon too if you wanted to, but I was counting this as like a spear weapon. And so this is spear, sword, shield, banner. Then I've got this guy here. This is another Mordor Orc with spear. This is actually using the exact same pose that we painted today. So that was this guy. And he has been hacked up. He's got a new head. He's got a big, long, massive spear glaive weapon. He's got a shield slung over his back with a strap. He's got a Gundabad blade to bring in that aesthetic, and of course a new helmet. Those two I was particularly proud of. This guy wasn't quite finished. I still had more to do on him, but he's got a spear, a sword, Gundabad head. This is an Ugluk model. And then I was getting ready to hang a shield off his back as well. So these spears are sort of made from, like, I don't know, random stuff, really. Tops of Gundabad weapons. That's, like, one of the skull poles. What else do we have here? And then my Black Numenorians, I was using Castellans of Dol Guldur and giving them Gundabad shields and head swaps. So they've all got that shield. Because I was like, if they're going to be Dol Guldur Black Numenorians, I should use the Castellan of Dol Guldur models. And then if I need Castellans, I can just use some cool Castellans. Doesn't matter that the models are holding a shield and they have slightly different heads. Yeah, I mean, that's always what my kind of armies try to be, is like crazy alliances that have like a real awesome theme, but are like pretty competitive as well. So, I mean, it's not an insanely powerful list. It's got huge weaknesses. It's, you know, the Spider Queen is a massive glass hammer, and the numbers were like non-existent. At 750 points, I had like 30 models in a Moria and Orc army with some spiders. It was, you know, the numbers were terrible. But if you line things up right, you will dominate. You will absolutely annihilate people. And no one's expecting those models to do that. And no one's expecting Shelob to go and perform like that. So it'd just be really fun to run that at a tournament and set up some absolute madness. Because, like, people just would have no idea what that list is capable of. So the main plan was to have, you know, the core of Numenorians and Orcs. They're sitting at the center, forming this, basically like an anvil. And they're slowly marching forward using Heroic March from the Mouth of Sauron. They get into combat and they engage and they just die as slowly as they can, with the Mouth of Sauron throwing transfixes over the top, with the two goblin captains and the goblins sort of helping that front line, throwing over their spells while the spiders run one on each flank. You have Shelob on the one flank and the Mirkwood Spider Queen on the other flank with their spiders and their broodlings, just kind of like slowly mincing from the sides while your center tries not to collapse. I think it'll be really, really fun to play. Really, really fun to play. Yes, Shelob does eat her mates. Should have Gollum in the list. You could. It would be very, very fun. I hate spiders too. I absolutely hate them. How is the Throngul list coming? Yeah, no, they're cool. Throngul was fun. I took it to one tournament, and it did. I genuinely think it's better than the Riders of Theoden Legendary Legion. But Riders of Theoden still has the same problem. It's good. It just has so many big Achilles heels. Like if you come up with elves, or if you come up against a high magic list, Riders of Theoden really struggles, especially now with the nerf that it didn't really need. It was, or at least probably just not as hard as it was. I would have had two heroes be able to get might back, or Gamling and one other hero, or something like that. But without the might on trees, that list really struggles to come up against magic and elves and a few other things. And this list has the same problem. It's like, you know, with the Rongul being represented by King Elisar, it's awesome, and it fixes a lot that Riders of Theoden struggles with. You know, you've got a fight 6 hero with an elven blade. It's good. It's really good. But of course, all that you have to do is come up against a high level caster who shuts down Aragorn, and then you've got so many points not doing anything. And that's what happened when I took it to a tournament. I faced the Witch King, Smaug, and Saruman twice. Aragorn beheaded the Witch King and beheaded Saruman once and skewered Smaug. But in the final match, in fairness to myself, I was totally trashed and was not really focusing that well. I was so tired. I hadn't slept the night before trying to get the army painted and stuff. So by the 4th game of like 800 points, 12 hours into gaming, I was just cooked and I couldn't really play very well. But I played like an Isengard list, and Saruman was just like 2+ immobilize on Aragorn every turn, and he did nothing the whole game. So it's tough. It's tough. So I don't think if I was going to Articon I'd run it, because all you got to do is, especially with the prevalence of magic in the UK. But yeah, it is good fun. I think I would. I don't know what my like top list would be if I was going to an event to properly compete, which I don't really do anymore. It'd probably be Angmar. I really, really love playing Angmar. I think they've got all the tools. Got all the tools. They're really solid. Otherwise, you know, Rohan is just so fun. Do it anyway. Yeah, it is thinking outside the box. It is. I like. It's the same thing with like my Thorongul army. It's like Rohan, like you've never seen before. My Wayne Riders army with Khand and Easterlings. Like it's people. It's like, what is this madness? You know, I like to put something on the table and people are like, I have never played this before. That is super cool. I'm really, really proud of this guy. This is a sick conversion. Really, really sick conversion. So, I think it's about time that we spin this camera around and grab up the wheel and do some giving away of our first model. Now, who should we give away today, and who should we keep for our Kira Thungul stream? I'm thinking, I don't know. You guys vote. Orc or Uruk? Vote in the stream what you want to do. I'm going to swing this camera around. Preferably without knocking everything over. We'll see how that goes. Oh, you got to see my pajamas there. That's fine. Okay. Hello, everybody. Oh, I wonder what the secret project could be. I'm just not sure. I'm sure all will be revealed in time. Let's get this Patreon wheel up here. Alright, you guys are pretty keen to give away the Uruk. I'm seeing lots of Uruks. Let me just move this random innocuous piece of foam that's not relevant to anything. Just get that out of the way. Bring up the old giveaway wheel. Alright, lots of Uruks. Lots of Uruks. Alright, we need a dice. Hashtag organized. I think I would have had this sort of... Oh, I know where it is. It's in the dice box. So, for those of you who are new, which is probably none of you, this is our wonderful little live stream component where we give away one of the models that we've painted on today's stream to one of my Patreons. Hey, there she is. So this guy, we're going to be giving away the Uruk that we just painted with the two-handed club, and he will become officially sponsored by one of the patrons. He will get named after him. He'll get like 1 point of might, will, and fate for battle reports, and he'll have a little journey, and he'll progress and level up, and then at the end of the journey, when his model no longer features in battle reports for the campaign, we'll make up a little final profile. This is what he earned over the campaign, and then post him out to wherever that Patreon lives all around the world. We're going to give the wheel a big old spin, and we'll see whereabouts we land. Can you guys see that? Yeah, I think you can. That was a big spin. Oh, man, it's making me slightly dizzy. Alright, we are in Bay 15. We haven't been in Bay 15 for ages. We have potential winners are Malta Jacobson, Elaine Emenega. That's a good name. That was tricky. Nicholas Hofbauer, Thomas Glover, Matty Dishner, Andy for the win, Tom Kane, David Allinger, George Sutherland, Jose Mithras, and Sam Nash. Thank you very much, honey. I have... To celebrate the potential victory of one of these people, I have a banana, a muffin, and a cup of tea. Thank you, girls. So we're going to roll a dice. We have got numbers between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Numbers between 1 and 12. Let's get this on the 35 down there so you can see. Alright, we're looking for a number between 1 and 12. Oh, straight away we've got something playable. That is a 5, which is... 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm counting it twice to make sure it's right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mr. Matty Dishner, a stream regular. Go on, you Matty. So you are now... What are we going to call him? We need to, like, convert Matty or Dishner into, like, an Uruk name and give this guy an Uruk. Maybe we'll let Matty work out what he wants to be called. I don't know if he's in the stream yet. I'm not sure if he's actually been watching today. He usually watches like all the time. And so this is going to be Matty Dishner's little Urukai. He's going to feature in the battle report, which might not be next stream. Before we do that, we might go to something else. But we're going to have a battle report really soon where we do some kind of cool Kira Thungul stuff. We'll have Sam fighting his way up through the stairs and Maddie's Uruk and the other Uruk that we'll give away during that battle report are going to be cool little heroes to for you guys to control. Be exciting to do some battle reports soon, but as you guys can see, we are right in the throes of returning to Minas Tirith. So there's a big video dropping this week, and then next week, and then hopefully the week after, and probably the week after that. So it's a big Minas Tirith arc. So on the live stream, we might do another terrain crafting stream like we did for Dol Guldur, where I take you guys through some of my process designing the next part of the board. There's a lot of carving to do, so even if we just like got together and did like a you know, crafting with me kind of vibe, if you we've got suggestions. Dishnak, Dishluck, Dishmat, Dishnar, Mat Dish, Dishnak. Oh yeah, those are some good solid names. We need to get you a D12. I know I have like 50 of them, but I don't know where they are. I had the D20 back when it was like, you know, more people on one bay. So it's gonna be good. Joshy Summers nailed it. What did Josh do? Terrain tips are always welcome. I need the help, says Pickle. Yeah, so I think that'll be fun. Doing the Dol Guldur stream went really well. You guys really enjoyed that, and it's just so fun working on terrain with like no objective and just hanging out. I really enjoyed that. But thank you for tuning in, guys. This was a great little stream. We'll be back in 2 weeks' time with probably Minas Tirith action. Otherwise, a battle report for the board that's under there. We'll be playing on Dol Guldur, like half painted. It's going to be beautiful. But it's nice and fun. We do things fast and loose here on the live stream. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Make sure that you subscribe and hit that little bell, because when I did, the only notification you'll get from this channel is when I go live. I don't post anything else here. And you won't get a notification just from being bell and everything on the main channel. So make sure you hit the bell here so that you get the notification. Which I think is good for this, right? Because it's separated. If you don't want the notifications from normal videos, but you want to know when I go live, it's great that it has its own whole channel now. I'm really happy about this move. It's working really, really well. And the streams are still doing awesome. We've still got 70 people watching, which is fantastic. So I will see you guys in 2 weeks' time, and on the main channel there will absolutely be an epic, like, full-on video on Thursday. So make sure you're watching that Thursday night Australian time. Hopefully, or maybe Friday. I've got a bit to do still, but it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. All right, I'm going. See you later, guys. Oh, I can't reach the button. There it is. Okay, bye.